Some more with Oleksandr Danylyuk. He served as the Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council and also as the Finance Minister. He's the co-founder and the head of the Center for National Resilience and Development. Oleksandr, thank you so much for making the time to speak to us. We heard there from our reporter on the ground speaking a little about what's happening in Ukraine's east. Can you outline for us the official plan to combat what is happening in what's become a very, very dangerous part of the country?
Well, I think Russia's intentions are clear. They will try to encircle our troops, which are currently located near Kramatorsk and Slavyansk. We know about their plans. We are prepared for this. Russia, the only reason Russia haven't started the operation yet is on a large scale is because they're still preparing. They're still preparing, make final preparations, because Putin cannot afford to miss this time. Russia is learning little by little, or maybe actually quite fast, is that they are not safe on our territory. They cannot claim the superiority in air, in sea, on the ground. Yesterday we damaged the Moscow ship, right? The cruise, and obviously Russians claim that this is the explosion of their ammunition. Well, I can tell you that the similar explosions happened on another ship that was sunk near Berdyansk on Azov Sea. Then with 160 planes, suddenly ammunition exploded, 150 helicopters, almost 800 tanks. That's kind of epidemic of sudden explosions, all actually done by our armed forces. And that is going to continue. They will not feel safe. And this is, by the way, our contribution to the safety of Black Sea. Because I'm talking to your audience, right? The Black Sea does not belong to Russia. Doesn't matter how many ships they put there. They don't own this sea. There's Turkey, there is Ukraine, Bulgaria, Romania. This is our sea. We need to make it safe. We need to make it peaceful. And Russia needs to understand this. And if it doesn't accept, then we will help it to clean the sea from this piece of junk that is flying there. Floating there.
Oleksandr, I want to touch on something that you were quoted as saying by Politico, the political journalism outlet. And you said, quote, "The West is trying to exhaust Russia." Just put that into context for us. What do you mean by this? The West has supplied Ukraine with quite a lot of weapons. The US and the UK have both said that they will be increasing that. Is the West not doing enough, in your opinion?
The West is not doing enough. The West started to do more after everybody saw what Russians did in Bucha, in Kramatorsk, in Irpin, where a lot of civilians were killed, tortured. So that actually changed the position of the West. But still, obviously, we need more support. And my logic is very simple. This war is for long. And in order for us to not just to match Russian resources, but actually for us to win this war, right, we need to have heavy weapons, enough, to win the war. And at the moment, we're receiving it just in the amount, in a scale that allows us to keep Russians. But we need to win this war. Yeah. And we were going to win this war anyway, but we were going to do it for the rest of the world. So we need support of the rest of the world.
And in terms of Ukraine winning this war, do you think it's going to happen by diplomatic channels? We've had quite a lot of talks about it. What are the chances of a ceasefire or a deal, or is this all going to end on the battlefield?
Obviously, first of all, I'm quite, we're thankful that Turkey is actually hosting these peace talks, and this is an attempt to actually to help to bring peace. But my view, unfortunately, those talks have very little prospects, not because of the Turkish position, but because of Russia's position. Russia is not interested in ending this war. For Putin, ending the war now would mean a defeat. So he's going to try another time, one more time, and maybe after that he will return to the negotiation table. But at the moment, those talks have no prospects, from my point of view.
Oleksandr, we are running out of time, so I just want to ask very quickly on a personal note, as somebody who has held very high-profile positions in the government, but also as a Ukrainian, this must be very difficult to watch, especially the horrific scenes and the stories that we're continuing to hear come out of areas like Bucha. How are you coping?
Well, me personally, I understand this as, if I try to be emotional, I will not be effective. So I'm with the army now. It's not the time for emotion. We need to win this war. But for many civilians, for many foreigners, it's a terrible thing to watch. But unfortunately, the military, we see it quite often, these atrocities of Russia in real life. So we just need to be less emotional as a military and do our job, and Russians will pay the price.
Oleksandr Danylyuk, really appreciate your time, and please stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.